नमस्कार, annyeonghaseyo. मैं हूँ हर्ष and welcome again to our another episode of Study in Korea. And today we have Cherry with us, who is currently doing her masters in Yonsei University. Yonsei is one of top 3 university in Korea, and it comes in the sky specific that term they have for the top 3 university of Korea, Sky. So let's directly go to Cherry and let's know more about her and how she's doing and how she came to Korea and everything about that. Okay. So hello, Cherry.
Hi,
First of all, I want to know where do you come from in India?
I come from the state of Meghalaya, which is also known as Abode of the Clouds.
Yes, yeah. Oh. And when did you come to Korea?
I came on August in 2019.
Oh, it's just been 1.5 years.
Yeah,
And currently you are doing your masters in Yonsei, right?
right.
What's the major?
My major is Korean studies, but it's not language. It's part of the international department, so I study history, culture, politics.
Okay. Oh, so it's masters or PhD?
It's master's program.
It's master's program. Okay. So, and like, what was the reason? What is the inspiration for coming to Korea? So you did your bachelor in Korean studies too. That's why you.
No, my background is history. So I did
Okay.
my bachelor's and I did my master's in history, and this is my second master's actually.
Okay. Okay. Nice. Nice to hear that. So how did you get to know about Korea and this Korean? And you came on some scholarship here.
Yeah, I got the Korean government scholarship, like called the GKS
So you also
scholarship.
had the 1 year language training before coming here, or
Yeah, actually, my language training was shortened to 6 months because I got the required topic. So I
oh,
studied language for 6 months and then came to Yonsei last year in spring.
nice. Oh, tuk tuk hanyo. Very smart.
Yeah.
And how do you like your university? How is it? How is the atmosphere and everything back there in Yonsei?
I really like the university, that's why I actually applied for the university track and I only applied for Yonsei because I wanted Yonsei. It has a, a good amount of international students and kind of the support system here is really good. Like even before I came to Yonsei in spring, I got messages and emails from senior, like a Sonbei peer. They had created peer groups, so they kept in touch and helped us like in our first semester to like know about the university more. And it was actually unfortunate that my first semester started online and it has been online till now, so I didn't get to experience much of the campus life,
Right, right.
but it's still been good and the professors have been really nice too.
Okay, and are you staying in the dormitory or outside in there?
No, I'm not staying in the dormitory. I stay nearby the campus.
Okay. So do you know about the facilities there? Like how is the other facilities? Apart from dormitory, how are other facilities at Yonsei? You
The
haven't
like the
you haven't
No, I
explored it
haven't
yet?
been. I have. I The library there is huge.
Yes.
I know it is really well stocked with uh, required materials, but because, as I mentioned, I have been having online classes, we were
Right.
provided with packaged like PDF materials. And
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
because of coronavirus regulations too, like there were times when there were some infections on campus, we are not allowed to go there. So I haven't been like inside the library yet, but like even the campus cafe, they are really good. There's a Yonsei store too, where you can buy Yonsei accessories and even sweatshirts like this one.
Right. Oh.
Yeah, and it has
And
a large amphitheater, then football stadium for practices, and like a gym too. There's a gym as well inside the campus.
oh, 좋아요. And how do you like the social life here in Korea? Like especially back you are staying in Seoul. So how do you like the your lifestyle and social life there? I know it's Corona time, but still how Is it?
Well, some of my classmates are pretty outgoing. So though I'm kind of an introvert and I like staying at home, but they usually contact me and like ask to hang out. So people are pretty much cool. Like the friends I have are very chilled and like they like hanging out. So when the regulations are not very strict, we meet time to time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and like even and Yonsei has like a lot of clubs, like hobby clubs, and I joined one called the hiking club. So we even went hiking with like other students whom I met for the first time in the club. So yeah, it's like really good for international students because Yonsei GSI is like maybe 70 to 80% international students.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
your courses are basically in English then?
Yeah, all of them are English, but because I am from Korean studies, I need to take language class, like
Oh,
past the fourth level.
okay,
Yeah,
okay, okay.
that's all.
So that's nice. So most of the people are there in like from different countries, international people.
All right.
So since you came to Korea, it's been 1.5 years. Did you face any kind of difficulty in settling down here? Any kind of
Um, the one that I can think of is like 쓰레기 분리, like sorting out the trash. Like when I was in doing my language school, I stayed in the dormitory, so it was
right?
much easier. But now that I'm staying outside alone, they have specific colored plastic bags for certain kind, like for the food rubbish and for other different kinds of recyclable trash. So in the beginning it was hard because I didn't know, and
Yeah, it's
yeah,
confusing, right?
I got a scolding from my landlord once. After that, from that time on, I became very cautious and I learned how to do it.
Yeah, it is one of the biggest problem, right? Like every single thing, plastic, can, and the food waste, the normal waste, everything you have to throw separately. So that's, yeah, it's difficult in the beginning, but you get used to it.
Mhm.
Choyo.
Yeah,
And apart from that, like, what do you like most about Korea? Like, you have been living here, so what do you think is the
food.
one thing? Food? You
I like
love
the food. Yeah, I love the place, and yeah, my go-to place would be Hangang.
Hangang.
So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Hangang is actually Korea's river. Hangang. It's like same like India's Ganga. It's one of the biggest. Yeah, it's the biggest river in Korea, and it's a very very good hanging out place in Seoul. Sure. And what do you think is the most important factor to survive here as an international student or as an Indian student in Korea?
I think language to some extent and knowing the culture a little bit. Like Korea is still to some extent conservative. Like you need to know like some of the gestures or even like the correct words to say to older people or even to shopkeepers.
Right, 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 right,
Like
right.
and this kind of social connection is very important here. So I think language and knowing like the basic culture here.
So, did you know about Korea before coming here? If yes,
Yeah,
so what?
I had interest in Korea and it goes way back to when I was 11 years old. So since
Wow,
then, I've been actually watching
wow,
Korean dramas, and that's what made me interested in Korea.
very nice. So, has your impression changed after you came to Korea? Like before, what you had, and was there any change in that, or it's still
There
you
were
found?
some changed, some like stayed the same. Yeah, yeah, like I had one or two cultural shocks as well.
Okay. And as you're studying in Yonsei, would you recommend your university to other Indian students who want to come to your university? Not just in your department, but other departments too. Like,
Yeah, definitely. I think it's one of the best universities to be here, like in Korea, to experience Korean culture too, because Yonsei also is reputed for its that college festival,
yes, yes,
Akaraka, and then
right.
Yongojon as well, which is the Yonsei and Koryo
Yeah, yeah,
University tournaments.
right.
But
Yeah.
unfortunately, because of
This,
Corona, I myself haven't been able to experience it. But I've heard a lot about it, and I've
yeah,
seen a lot
it
of
is
posts
huge,
of
huge. Right,
yeah,
right.
I think it would be a great experience for people who are fortunate to come after Corona is gone.
Right, right. So, as you came through the university track of KGSP, would you give any specific advice or tips to people who are applying for KGSP through the university track? Is there anything they have to, specifically care for or specifically pay attention to?
I think first of all they should like narrow down the university that they really want to come to. You know, if they have that and the course they want to apply for, they should. I think like if they have all the certificates that they need and like having language certificates, I think gives you a lot of leverage because I had topic 4 and I even gave IELTS. So if you're
Okay.
applying to the GSIS, the international department in Yonsei, I
Mm-hmm.
think it gives you a lot of leverage to have one of the English proficiency exams too. So yeah, I think those are the things to keep in mind. Having all the certificates like organized and getting extra ones too.
Okay, okay. That's really nice to hear. And thank you so much for giving your precious time. And I hope it helps our Indian students. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.